My dress got here when I was gone on my trip. So I'm gonna open it now. I'm very excited. Okay, here's my dress. I forgot what day it came. I was gone. This is what I ordered from Yoycol. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at that. Let's see. Let's see how the quality is. I ordered a large. Now it's actually pretty good because my my image that I used, I did on Procreate, and I kind of used a sketchy pen and watercolor type thing, so but the quality on here is just pretty much like it was on my iPad, so pretty good. The way this feels, it's very thin, very see-through. The stitching's not bad. It's pretty good. Definitely have to wear something under it. Yeah, that stitching near the neck, though, I would say it's not great. Does have pockets. Nice deep pockets. Yeah, nice. Okay. So, I mean, obviously I have to try it on. I don't know if there's any weird... Oh yeah, this is kind of funny. I didn't make it like that. That's just how it ended up. So the pretzel puss became an ice cream cone pretzel puss, I guess. That's okay. It's just the way the fabric got sewn. And see, here's another little mashup. It's kind of cute though. I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind it. Like, you just never know what you're gonna get when the seams come together, and yeah. I'll have to try it on and see what it looks like on, but I don't know if I want anyone to see that. You can hold it up. But I'm kind of intrigued by it. I think it might end up being like something I wear to bed or just around the house. But this was so much fun to design. Yeah, lots of fun. Okay, I know you can't really see the full dress right now, but just from the top of the dress, like, these are already a little too stretched out. I think the fabric is very thin. The fabric's actually about as thin as my fabric on my, you know, that thing, my sling. Okay, it feels like a similar type fabric, but anyway, I like the design. It's like okay. I think the fabric is not the best quality. I kind of expected this though, but I do feel like it is something I would probably just wear around the house. You know, maybe wear it during the day on a hot day like today, or like maybe even at bedtime, maybe. But I do like that it has pockets. Like, the pockets are pretty deep, very deep pockets. I don't know, I can't really show you the full dress right now. I mean, I'm just sitting down, but yeah, I got a little dehydrated today, so coming back on my trip, because we went through the desert and in and out of the car. Yeah, my skin didn't, well, I could tell my skin was like really dry, and I don't know, all of a sudden also I just felt like dry, like on the inside, like dehydrated basically. And so I had to like push the coconut water on the way home while my husband drove, and that helped me to get over the, yeah, it helped me a lot. And so now I just need to rest. And I mean, that's what I was doing in the car on the whole drive. I was resting. But yeah, pushing that coconut water really helped me out. And I feel much better than I did when we left several hours ago. So I'm on the mend. Feeling good though. But yeah, that's why I'm not getting up to show you, because I'm conserving my energy. So maybe I'll put this back on maybe another day and continue this video. But for now, not going to. But yeah, I just did want to say that I find the quality not quite what I was hoping for. Kind of is what I maybe expected. I would say maybe I got my money's worth. I think because it's a custom product, I'll say yeah, that I got my money's worth, and I'm happy with it for the purposes that I said I was going to use it for. I do feel like the waist for me, if they had petite sizes, that would be nice, because the waist comes a little bit too low for me. It's I needed to be up like about an inch or two higher, because yeah, it just would look better. Yeah, anyway, bye. Hello. I put my dress on, and you can see that it's like, you know, it's very see-through. So I put on a camisole under, and a white slip underneath, just to give an extra layer. And then I put this over it. Actually, I wanted to show you, okay, for right now I have it pinned on both sides to kind of bring the torso up, because what I find is that this, you know, where the waist meets is not good for me, because I have a shorter torso. Often I need like petite sizes because I have like, I'm short. And so, yeah, so the dresses don't always meet me at the waist where they should, you know, for the sizes that I get. So anyway, I figured, maybe if I just like take some off of, you know, the shoulders, and then actually it felt like it fits better under the arm too. So unfortunately that brings the neck up higher, which I liked it a little lower, but it's more trouble to go in and take apart the dress, you know, and shorten from the waistline. That's more trouble than just doing it this way. So I'm gonna just probably sew that there. I'll make it look a lot neater than that. Yeah, but anyway, I was just trying it on with the different idea, you know, of how I could make the dress work for me. And I also thought that maybe this looked nice with it. I mean, that's like the only thing I have that sort of, I mean, I don't know if you think it goes with it or not. It doesn't really matter, because it's all about what I think, right? This is me. So anyway, I put my jewelry on that I made, my little octopus, see, little octopus earrings, and my my octopus necklace. I put that on, and yeah, and this, I'm gonna put probably a button to close, to be, sorry, I'm still burping my tea. Okay, so I'll put this little button here to be able to have a closure at the, you know, for this thing. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just want to wear the octopus. And so I'm just finding a way to make this work, even though this project of making this dress design, it didn't turn out exactly the way I would expect it or want it to, you know, and there you go again with you know, being flexible and, you know, detaching from outcome, you know, because like we can get ourselves so worked up by things not turning out the way that we really want them to, we envision them, you know. And honestly, when things don't go the way that we want them to, it's an opportunity to exercise our flexibility and to basically make lemonade out of lemons, right? I mean, if you want to say that, or to just, you know, just see maybe new opportunities that you didn't see before, and like just trying to make the best of the situation. And I'm finding that more and more that's pretty much how my life has been, where I've spent much of my life being like really super attached to outcomes and like really feeling like you know, the perfectionist thing, you know, where you just want things to go a certain way and you take all the steps that you think, you know, you need to take on your end, and they still don't, you know, there's too many variables and there's no way that you can actually make the outcome exactly the way you want it. And you have to give in to, you know, you just have to give in to what is, you know, and just deal with what is and make the best of the situation as it is in your reality. And, you know, and still maintain that sense of wonder and playfulness and flexibility and just curiosity, like, okay, well, this didn't really go the way that I thought it would. I wonder why, or maybe you know why, but then you can just say, okay, well, next time maybe I'll do it this way, or next time maybe I'll, you know, change this or change that. But what can I do with what is right now? What can I do with it, and how can I make it just slightly better than, you know, than it is? How can I use the resources and what I have right in front of me right now to make it just slightly better than what it actually is, and maybe get a little bit closer, or at least, you know, in the feeling of what it is you wanted that outcome to help you to feel, right? Because I think that's really what it's all about. It's all about, like, how do we feel in the energy of what's going on? And see, that's one thing that doesn't have to change. You can always keep that same energy that you started out with when you were laying the blueprint of your of your project, or whatever it is that you're wanting to do or wanting to feel, and how you were feeling in that mode of creativity. And then, you know, when you reach the end of that project or experience, you know, you can still maintain that feeling. You don't have to get, that's why staying detached from outcomes is like very helpful, because then you haven't landed on one thing, like it has to be this way. And it opens you up to more opportunities to explore and expand, and to see things in a different way. Maybe differently than you would have if you had already had your mind all closed off and you were determined to do something this way, only this way. And you know, that's kind of what life has been teaching me my whole life, I think. And the more I understand that being attached to outcomes is actually limiting, and it's also opens me up to a lot of disappointment and a lot of discouragement, and also it stunts my growth, and it almost makes me feel like, I don't even want to do this, because, you know, like whatever it is that I'm working on, it makes me feel like giving up, because it's like I'm not, you know, the bar that I set is way up here and I'm not even reaching it. I might even be over here somewhere, not even, you know, aligned with that thing. And so I think the more important thing is just staying in the energy of that playful curiosity, that childlike energy of just exploring, and like not being so set on, oh, this has to be perfect, you know, this has to be like the perfect everything that I ever did. You know, don't do that to yourself, you know, and I'm talking to myself. Don't do that to yourself, because you limit yourself, because then the possibilities get more narrow, because you're saying, no, it can only be this, instead of, hey, I don't know what's going to happen, and let's just see what happens. That is way more fun, you know, way more fun way to approach life, you know, and approach your projects, is like, hey, let's just see what happens, and I'm going to enjoy the process, and I'm just going to enjoy whatever the outcome is. I'm just going to, you know, be the observer, be the scientist in the you know, the experiment, you know, like, hey, what happens when I do this, you know, and just enjoy the process, and like learn from, hey, well, when I do this, then this happens, you know, or this is one of the possibilities, you know. So I'm just saying, yeah, that's all I'm saying, is like, yeah, being attached to outcomes is so constricting. It is. It's so constricting. And I do understand the discouraging and the disappointment and the, you know, all the things that come with things not really panning out the way that you want them to or expect them to. But I think that's where we have to just exercise our, you know, ability to surrender, you know, surrender, and to just detach, and just go with the flow. Yeah. So, I mean, this is not what I expected. Like, I thought that, okay, you know, okay, I knew I wasn't gonna look like the girl in the picture of the the you know, the girl modeling the dress, right? The, what do you call that? Anyway, the mock-up. I knew I wasn't going to look like that because that's not my body type, right? I knew that. But I did want to be able to wear it, like, you know, without this or whatever. And maybe I can still do that when I fix this up. I don't know. But it's not quite what I expected. But like, I never would have thought, oh, I'm gonna put this and this and this and all that with it and make it, you know, dress it up, because I thought it was just gonna be sort of a more like a summer dress kind of thing, right? Which is fine, it still can be. You know, I might need to figure out how to make it look better, because I just think these colors also are not like the most flattering on me. So, you know, but I didn't really care. I just, I think I really just wanted to see how this would print out, you know, and what the quality of the fabrics would be. Anyway, so yeah, there was some disappointment because I did have expectations, and I wasn't, I mean, I was sort of a little bit like, well, let's explore and see how this works out. So I was doing that, but there was also still there was still some attachment. There really was still some attachment of what I wanted it to be. And, you know, after I opened this up and saw what it was, and, you know, was like, you know, gave it a day and then put this back on, and I'm like, oh, you know what? And so my creativity came back, and I was like, hey, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can adjust this. Maybe I can still wear this, you know, if I could put extra layer, you know, like just a slip, you know, a white slip and a camisole, you know, put that underneath to make it wearable, right? Yeah, you know, like, we don't have to allow ourselves to feel defeated when things don't go according to our grand plan in our heads, you know, or even, you know, what we really, really desire. We don't have to do that to ourselves. Yeah. And I don't feel like it's like, oh, I'm just settling for less. No, I mean, in some sense you could look at it that way, and if you do, I don't know, I think you're just stealing some of your own happiness, you know, because if you could just detach from the outcome from the get-go, I think life could be more of a explorative adventure, and we could actually just be very happy with the journey part of it, you know, and not so. I think that's part of it, is like, you know, when we have these goals or these end points, these results that we want to achieve, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you spend all your energy and all your emotions, and you don't leave any wiggle room because you're just so solid in, this is how it has to look, and this is how I want to feel, you steal your happiness. Because most often the things that we plan in our minds and on our hearts are not going to solidify into our reality in the exact way that we imagine. There's most likely going to be some variance of that blueprint that we have in our, you know, in our minds and in our hearts. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's part of learning the lessons that we need to learn, and that's part of our growth. But I think what I've been trying to say this whole time is that it's not the outcome, it's the journey that you go through, the joy and the experience, the adventure that you go on as you're trying to go explore towards the outcome, but you're not like, you know, I don't know how to say this. You have your, like, you know what direction you're going in, but you're not like so set on, your focus isn't just that one landing spot. Your focus is, oh, what's along the way? Like, what can I enjoy right now in this moment as I'm going towards this destination? It's the journey, right? It is. We've heard this so many times in our life, right? Where it's the journey that matters. It's the little side trips, the little detours, the little, you know, yes, you have your destination, but you're not like so attached that you cannot stop and, you know, smell the roses, right? And that you can't stop over here at this little rest stop where somebody's selling some beautiful fruit that you want to eat, you know, like if you just get on the freeway and we just did a road trip. You just get on the freeway and you go from point A to point B, and you don't make any stops, you don't take any like leisure, you don't take any liberties to just enjoy, oh, look at that, you know, spontaneity, and you just go towards your destination. You reach your destination, right? But what did you miss along the way? If you just wanted to get from point A to point B. And I know sometimes that's what we need because we have a time constraint. But approach life more on the side of, you know, the journey. The journey is the destination. Okay? Approach life that way, where the journey is the destination. The destination, the point B, is actually just the icing on the cake or the cherry on the top of your ice cream sundae, you know, like that's just extra. But the journey is the substance. The journey is where it's at. The journey is where we live. That's where we live our life. Okay? Always like looking at the outcome that we want and placing our happiness, you know, and making ourselves wait to be happy until we get to that destination. We are missing all of the opportunities that we could be having in every single moment of the journey. And, you know, these are the things I've been learning in my life, especially more recently, but like in the last several years. And does it mean I never get disappointed? No, of course not. You know, I was disappointed when I opened this and I was like, oh, it's not exactly what I thought, but you know, I'm still learning these lessons. But the journey that I took in order to get to this point where I had a dress made in a design that I, you know, with the images that I drew and designed and all that, you know, the process that it took to get to this dress, this physical dress, that was the most fun part. This was, it's insignificant. It is not, like if I had not enjoyed the process and I just slapped it all together and like didn't have fun while I was creating, and then I just got the dress, how much more dissatisfied do you think I would have been? Probably a lot more. But I understood what I was going through while I was designing it. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. So don't steal your happiness from yourself, you know, by focusing too hard on the outcome. Enjoy the moments along the way. Enjoy, you know, all the moments along the way. And that's why road trips are fun, because you get to just kind of explore outside of your normal everyday stuff, you know, like, and that's why you should do different things every day, try new things all the time, so that you're not getting stuck in stagnancy where you're not exploring and being creative and be curious about yourself and about your growth. And yeah, anyway, yeah, I will show you some pictures of, you know, this full length. Okay, so I can still use this in some way, you know, whether it's just wearing around the house, you know, wearing it as like, I don't know, sort of a nightgown or whatever, or dressing it up like this, you know, like I can do whatever I want. And I also don't have to worry about what anyone thinks, because this was for me. And that's another thing that I've been learning too, is that getting outside of the box, it does bring more freedom and more happiness. So whatever the box is for you, you know, step outside that box and, you know, explore and figure out who you are, and not who other people tell you you are, or who you should be. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And maybe it looks a little weird to some people. This may not be their taste, and I don't even know if this is my taste. I kind of think it's probably not. But that's the whole point of exploring, right? Is to figure out what you do and don't like, and to figure out who you are. Anyway, the process was fun. I really enjoyed this. So, okay, have a great day.